Hello and welcome to the review of the Jaguar XF-S Premium Luxury Diesel. Okay, it's a mouthful, I admit, but it is a great car and I really want to tell everyone why this is such a good car. Stick around. XF-S was produced between 2008 to 2015. It replaced the, should we say, conservatively styled Jaguar S-Type, and it got replaced by the Mark II XF. But the thing is, the original XF is groundbreaking, I think. It really was a game changer for Jaguar. It wasn't just because of its platform and the technical use, but mainly for me, it was the styling. I mean, the styling is fantastic. Now, I want to cover the styling in a minute. But in terms of the actual XF range, although it was game-changing at the time, unfortunately, time hasn't been very kind to these cars. Now, Jaguar being typical Jaguar, they're not the most reliable cars, and it's a shame, really, because they produce some amazing cars, both to drive and in the way it's designed, and just the way it feels. But again, not been reliable, and ultimately, predominantly in diesel form. And unfortunately, most of the schemes which are very anti-diesel meant cars like this no longer exist, and it's a shame, really. But they are fantastic, and to be honest, yeah, not being the most reliable. But if you could find a decent XF that's been looked after, is in working condition, is reliable as best as it can be, I highly recommend buying these. These are fantastic vehicles. They really, really are. And Jaguar pulled off, what, a massive trick with this one, because they really did a fantastic job of trying to compete with the established Germans.
Thank you for coming home. Sorry that the chairs are all warm. I left them here, I could have sworn. These are my salad days, slowly being eaten away. Just another play for today. Oh, but I'm proud of you, but I'm proud of you.
So the styling. This is completely revolutionary for me. I mean, the Jaguar threw out the Jaguar rulebook when it came to styling for this. I think there's hardly any reminiscent features of this car to older Jaguars. I think the only thing we've got really is the circular compartment within this headlight cluster. That's it. And even then that got designed out with a facelift. But hey, the rest of it is all brand new. So look at the bonnet, for example. Yeah, you got the sculpted bonnet, but it was very smooth. Coming into these very smooth headlights, wrap around, and actually with gingicators. I mean, it's probably one of the only Jaguars that had integrated gingicators, but they had gingicators. I love it. But also, apart from the headlights, you've got this beautiful contoured chrome accents within the lower grille that goes into the bumper and folds in nicely. Then you've got this kind of lower splitter, again, just prominent, and keeping the car nice and lean at the front. Yet you've got this grille that's integrated, mesh grille. Now this is the XF-S model, so we'll have a sportier grille. But again, in older Jaguars, this is slightly different. This has been integrated. It was almost kind of flush fitted. It was perfect. Well, it was flush fitted, to be honest, but it was perfect. And the Jaguar, one thing I do actually miss, the old fashioned, 3D cat on the bonnet. That's gone. And now you've got a flat faced Jaguar logo, in keeping with more modern day logos, granted, but to give the car, in my opinion, a sportier presence. If you look at the overall body of the car, you can see it's kind of flowing, it's kind of got that four-door coupe design. This, in some ways, reminds me of a kind of 2000s era Rover ST1. I love the Rover ST1. I love its styling. I know I had plenty of problems, but styling-wise, it was bang on. And with a small face, it was fantastic. And this car really reminds me of a modern-day version of that car. Coming on to the styling, simple side panel here for the grille, with the modern-day logo of the Jaguar on the side of it. Chrome stands out, looks sporty, but looks clean. Really like that. Yes, you've got the chrome accents on the window, but this is not here to be showy. It's designed to accentuate and show off the kind of swooping roofline. I don't normally like swooping rooflines on modern-day saloon cars. I prefer the old-fashioned three-box saloons. But I actually think it really works in this car. And by this time, it was becoming quite popular. I mean, the Lexus GS Mark III at the time had that. And I know the Mercedes CLS kind of started that kind of look. But the Jaguar, I think, did it best out of them all. And to be fair, when you compare it to the 5 Series and the Audi A6s and the Mercedes E-Class at the time, I think it looked better personally. And like I said, very clean sheet metal. Yeah, you have a high waistline, but it's not too prominent. It wants to give the car kind of sporty effect. And like I said, that lovely curving roofline continues at the back. It's almost like the boot lid and the window and the roof are all in one piece. Like I said, I'm not really into curvaceous kind of roof lines where the tailgate lifts up and goes into the... I don't really like that, especially on modern day cars. But this car perfected it. For me, I love these wraparound taillights, go all the way to as far back as they can, almost to the wheel arches. And again, it's kind of got that hint of OSD1 at the back. Now, obviously, I think the facelift sorted it out because it kept the taillights going into the chrome accent on the boot lid. But it still looks good enough as a pre-facelift. I've got the twin exhaust on this one, obviously being the XFS. And I like the boot lid spoiler. I like a spoiler me. If it looks good on the car, I'll go for it. And this one really suits the car, to be honest. This car still looks good 15 years on. I mean, it's a 2010 model, we're in 2025. But even when it was released back in 2008, so what is that now, 17 years ago? It still looks fantastic. It still looks clean, modern and crisp. So what's this Jaguar XF like to drive then? Well, this is slightly different because obviously it's the XFS, so it's going to have slightly bigger alloys and it has sportier, stiffer suspension. But the thing is, with this particular car, you do still have that unique Jaguar-ness. You have a car which is going to be very cosseting and relaxing to drive, and yet at the same time it's going to have all that sportiness and grunt. Now, this being the diesel model, sorry Joseph Lloyd, I know it's the fuel of the devil, it really is nippy. It really is fairly efficient for what I'm getting. I could get around 35 miles per gallon if I look after this car on a motorway. This particular one is actually the S model, so instead of having the standard 231 brake horsepower you get in the 3-litre diesel, this is actually the 271, I want to say, brake horsepower, or 73 brake horsepower, that you got on the S model. Again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And you really feel that going around town. It's actually a little bit hard to keep the speed low in this car because you're constantly able to just fly over that speed limit. It does feel like sometimes this car wants to launch itself into the sun. That's how quick it is. It's fantastic. Really, really is good. I've driven a 2017 Audi S5. Has an amazing amount of power, very much 355 brake horsepower vehicle, and that is unbelievably rapid. But this feels very, very close to that, despite having almost 100 brake horsepower less. But that's the thing, when it comes to handling, ooh, yeah, as good as this car is, and it does really try, I can feel what the wheels are doing, and the wheels are communicating well what they're trying to do. They really are trying, but the body roll is there. There is body roll in this car. I took it down the country lane a moment ago, and it just leaned a little bit. I wasn't expecting that, to be fair, from a Jaguar. I know these cars drive brilliantly.
Nothing left to make me feel small. Luck has left me standing so tall. Gold, always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believe it, 'cause you are gold. Like that you're bound to return. There's something I could have learned. You're indestructible. Always believe it. So after the rush has gone, I hope you find a little more time. Remember we were partners in crime. It's only 2 years ago, the man with the suit and the face, who knew that he was there on the case. Now he's in love with you, he's in love with you. My love is like a hard prison wall, and you could leave me standing so tall. Gold.
Now, I'm going to have to be honest with you in terms of my conclusion. I love this car. I absolutely do. There's so much to like about it. It drives brilliantly. There's a little bit of lean in the corners, but it still drives brilliantly. It's lovely on the inside. The interior is brilliantly designed. I very rarely see a combination of what I call Joseph Lloyd spec interior. You've got the cream leather seats with the, or beige leather seats with the wood trim. And yet this does that in a modern style beautifully, and that's amazing. I think it's brilliant. It's timeless. So in terms of styling, 10 out of 10. In terms of the way it drives, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. It's brilliant. And I want to give this car, I absolutely really want to give this car a 10 out of 10, but I can't. I can't give it 10 out of 10. It's the reliability. These make terrible second-hand purchases. These will lose value. These will break down. These will cost a fortune to fix. These will leave you by the side of the road. These aren't useful. It's a shame. Everything else is better. I mean, this is the XFS diesel, and the fuel economy is excellent for what it is. It really is. The performance is magnificent. The styling is, as you know, I love the styling inside and out. Everything about it is lovely. My fiance, she's not into cars whatsoever. All she knows about cars is which ones look good and which ones don't. And even she loves this car. It's a good car, but I can't live with it every single day. I know at some point, something's going to go wrong, and it's going to cost me a fortune, and it's leaving me by the side of the road. For me, reliability is very important, and therefore, I'm going to have to give this car an 8 out of 10. It is what it is, but if it was reliable, this would be the best car reviewed. I really like this car. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my content. Please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out growing this channel. And I look forward to seeing you in more content. Thank you very much now. Bye-bye.